Hey y'all, my name is Taylor. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today I'm going to be talking about the books that I'll be trying to get to in April. I don't know if I'll get to all these. I'm feeling super mood reader-y. So we'll see how it goes. I may go completely off the rails and read other books, but this is my intentions for April. So let's get into what I'm going to read. So I'll start off with the different challenges that I'm doing this year. And the first one is Chantels Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, and I'm like a month behind where I'm supposed to be. So I have 2 books that I need to try and get to. So the March prompt was, if I tell you the book I'm going to read for it, it's supposed to be more than two point of views, which is really hard to do, and I didn't actually have anything on my shelf that fits that prompt, but and the only one that I could think of is the second book to a series that just is fairly recent. So that book is Cold Threat by Nancy Mell. It is the sequel to Cold Pursuit, and I really enjoyed that book. I read it I think in January, and Cold Threat just came out in February, I think. But it is the Riley and St. Clair series. It's about a man and a woman who used to work for the FBI. They had a traumatic experience, ended up leaving the FBI and starting their own private investigation company. So the first one is them finding this teenager who is missing, who has been missing for 4 years. So it was their mystery, figuring out what happened to him, and I have no idea what the second one is about, but the first one had more than 2 POVs, so I'm assuming the second one does, so hopefully that will fit that prompt okay. The prompt for April is, I forgot to say, I'm following the Doyle tract, but it doesn't really matter for April because they're both the same prompt. So for that one, it is a character who is redheaded. And the only character I could think of is probably on a lot of people's list too, but that is Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery, and I just love this cover. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I have read Anne before, years and years ago, so I've been wanting to try to read Anne again. I'd like to read the whole series, but I gotta start with number 1, of course. I've seen the Megan Follows movies several times, so I'm very familiar with the storyline. I would just like to actually read it again. So that is what I'm doing for the prompt for April. And then Jane Reads has her Read Christian Fiction challenge, and the prompt is New to You Author. So I'm gonna use this book for several things, but that is A Beautiful Disguise by Rosanna M. White. It is the first book. I don't know too much about it. It's like spies in sometime in history. That's all I need to know. But it is actually the book that we're reading for Tammy over at the Protagonist Pub, her book club. That was the choice, and very excited about it because I've never read a Rosanna M. White book before. So that is perfect for that prompt. I'm also going to use it for Katie's Read Around the World-a-thon reading challenge, which is a book you take on vacation. I would literally take any book on vacation, so I could put any book in this prompt, but also it looks very springish. I am supposed to be going out of town for a work thing, and my husband and my daughter are tagging along because we get to go to Washington, D.C. So we're kind of making a little bit of a mini vacation out of it. So I don't know if I'll be reading that one then, but we'll see. Maybe. And then Oshina's Read Christian Romance reading challenge. I'm going to use New to You Author because I get a 2-for-1 because Jane Reads has that one, and so I figured why not use it for both. So A Beautiful Disguise for that one too. So those are all the reading challenges that I'm doing. I am also going to try to participate in Katie over Paperback and Ponytails, her readathon, which is her Christian fiction readathon, and she's calling it Shower Me with Flowers Readathon this year, and I just love that. I love flowers. My daughter's theme a lot of times, what she wears, what's in her nursery is flowers. So I was very, very excited to see the theme for this year. She has 10 prompts, and the first one is Magnolias. It's a character who is royalty, and who is the ultimate royalty of all time, of all creation, but our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is the King of Kings. So I am picking Jerusalem's Daughter by Genevieve Maurik, and I was going to read this for Easter, but y'all, every holiday is just sneaking up on me. I think I have all the time to do stuff and get ready, and then it's like the day before or the day of, and I'm like, I have no time. So I did not get to read it for Easter itself, but I still really want to read it. I feel really in the mood to read it. It still feels very timely. Easter was this past Sunday that I'm filming this, so I still want to read it. It is set during the week of the Passion Week, and I think it's a girl who's trying to meet Jesus. Not really sure, but Jenna is a fellow booktuber, and I've heard really good things about her book, and I wanted to try it out. Second prompt is White Roses. Married couple as the main characters. And that is an especially hard prompt. There is not many married couples as main characters in books. However, this one's kind of an OG, but kind of doing 2 for 1 here. But the Love Comes Softly series by Janet Oak. This is like a Christian fiction classic. I have read it. I read it. Did I read it last year? The year before? I can't remember. But I want to reread it and see what I think, because I need to refresh my memory, honestly. It's because I want to read book 2 as well and kind of get back into the series a little bit. So the second one is Love's Enduring Promise. But this is about Marty and Marty and Clark Davis. I always get their names confused because they changed it in the movie version. But Marty, her husband dies when they get out west. This is the time during the westward expansion. And so her husband dies unexpectedly, and she is devastated, obviously alone. She doesn't quite know what to do, doesn't really have the money to go back east to her family. So she meets this man named Clark, and he needs a mother for his daughter. And so he proposes that they get married so that they kind of, it's a mutual beneficial arrangement. So marriage of convenience. So it is their love story. So the rest of the series, I think, is them and then their family that branch out in the stories. At least that's how the movies go. So that's, I'm going to choose that series for that prompt. And then Double Delight Roses, a book that has a wedding in it, so I'm going to use those again for that. Sunflowers, a wealthy socialite character. And for that one, I just found it at the library. I thought it was pretty perfect. So, Calling on the Matchmaker by Jody Headland. This is something about matchmaking. I figure there's probably socialites who need matchmaking, so this is perfect. And I just love this cover. Like, I love a cover with a blue dress on the cover. So, blue is my favorite color, so I can't help it. But, yeah, I'm very intrigued just by the cover. And it's historical Christian romance, so that's all I need to know. Let's see. Hydrangea. I just wanted to say, I've heard some of y'all say hydrangea, and I find that so funny because I guess it's a southern say. We say hydrangea. I don't know. Anyways, so that one is a heartless person character or a villain character. I'm going to choose Jerusalem's Daughter for this one too. You know, everyday man was coming after Jesus, so I'm going to call them the villains of the story. You know, they were calling for Jesus's blood. So that's what I'm going to use for that one. Lantanas, a character who goes on an adventure. Same thing for Jerusalem's Daughter. I'm pretty sure like I said, the main character, she is trying to reach Jesus, trying to meet Jesus. So I would consider that going on an adventure. I think she probably can't get to him, or some kind of challenges in her way. I don't know. I could be wrong. Next one is Carnations, a story with a mother-daughter or a mother-son relationship. And I'm going to use the Love Comes Softly, specifically the second one for this one, because I think that Marty and Clark's children are more so in this one. And so Clark's daughter from the previous marriage, I know they grow closer together in Love Comes Softly, but I think Marty and Clark have their own kids in Love's Enduring Promise. So either one would probably work, but I'm hoping I can get to the second one. So Lincoln Rose, a book with a romance in it. I was like, this is like the easiest prompt for me. Every book I read pretty much has romance in it, so I could literally put anything in here. But I'm just going to say calling the matchmaker for that one. I don't know. That's what I'm going to say for now. Any one of those I said probably could work. And then peonies, which is my favorite flower. I was so excited to see it as a prompt, although the meaning of it was kind of disappointing. Like, really, that's what it means? But it's the prompt is flawed character, and I'm gonna say Jerusalem's Daughter for that one too, because aren't we all flawed except for Jesus? So pretty much anybody in that book could fill that prompt, probably the main character specifically, but that's what I'm gonna say for that. And then the last prompt is Violets, a hero that doesn't claim to be one, and I'm gonna choose Love's Enduring Promise for this, because I'm pretty sure this is Clark is taking care of his family. So I think a family man, a man who's taking care of his family, that in itself is a hero, a dad. So that's what I'm going to choose for that one. And then let's see, I was going to show you. This is my nice, pretty cover of Love Comes Softly. I forgot to show it to y'all, but I don't know if I'm going to actually read from it, because I want to keep my nice copies nice, so I don't know if I'll actually read from it, because I'm scared I'm going to mess it up. Do y'all read from your nice copies, or do you just let it sit on the shelf pretty as you please? Let me know. But I may or may not read from that particular copy. But I also want to get to, outside of the readathon and outside of the challenges, I had shown y'all in my library tag and library book haul video that I ran across the Magic Tree House, is it glare? Sorry, graphic novels, and I want to get to those before they need to be returned. So my goal is to read the real version of them, which ironically I don't have the first one. I thought I did, and I literally saw it in the thrift store, and I almost bought it. I was like, no, I already own it. No, I don't own it. So I wish I could remember what store it was at, so I could go back and get it, but I don't remember, so may have to like get the original #1 book. I think it's Dinosaurs Before Dark. Get it before I read this, so from the library. So those are hopefully going to get to those. And then I have two that I really, really want to read, but they don't really fit any of the prompts that I know of. So maybe if I just feel like I need to read them, I will, and try to work them in once I read them and I know more about them. But the first one of those is A River Between Us by Jocelyn Green. This is a Civil War romance. I think the young woman is working at a mill, I think, in the South, and she ends up being taken to the North as like a prisoner of war type of situation, and the guy that takes her is a Union soldier, obviously, and they spark up a romance, I think. But I really like Jocelyn Green's writing, and I think she did this, not sure, I thought she did this indie published, but I'm not sure because it says Credo House Publishers. I don't know, but she came out with this recently, and I love Jocelyn Green's writing, so I really want to try this out. And then the last one I really want to get to is Suspended in the Stars by E.A. Hendricks, because one, the cover, and then two, I read Recorder, and I really want more sci-fi set in space romance. Like, I really want some more of that. So really hope I can get to this one, but it is pretty sure it's just clean. It's not necessarily Christian, but there is a endorsement quote from Toscalia on the back. So maybe it is Christian. I'm not sure, but at least I'm pretty sure it's at least clean. So those are all of my pile of possibilities. So we'll see what I can get to. You never know what's going to happen in a month. And like I said, we're going to be going on a mini vacation, so I'm sure that will take up some time. So we'll see. But let me know if y'all are participating in Katie's Readathon and what y'all will be reading. Let me know if you've read any of these, if I should prioritize them, what your thoughts are. Love always talking to y'all in the comments, and thank y'all so much for watching. Bye, y'all.